Good evening, everybody. Wild Rocket is here with you from Great Shelford in Cambridgeshire, and I'm back again with another video in the Veganuary series. Now, today, before I start, I want to show you something really cool that I got in the mail today. This is a picture, a 3D image of my brain. I was really excited to get this today because, well, firstly, I wasn't expecting it so soon, even though the person who told me that they would send it to me would send it to me. Typically, you know, the post takes quite a few days in order for things to reach your house. And the second reason, the foremost reason, is I don't think I've ever seen an image of my brain like this before. So it's really phenomenal and really interesting. And it's just really intriguing, just the form and the presentation of it. I've never seen anything quite like it, and it's really fascinating. Like, I opened it today and I just spent like 20 minutes just staring at it, just like intrigued. You know, it's really phenomenal. It's really cool. So this picture was taken actually during a medical research study that I participated in over the month of January. So part of that involved having an MRI scan, which is really fun and interesting. I felt like I was sort of an astronaut in a spaceship, and the end result is I get this 3D image amongst other things. So there you go, that's a picture of my brain. But today I want to talk about two topics, but really they're one topic, so I'll mention them in one video because I believe they're so interrelated. Today I want to talk about intention and consistency in staying vegan. Now, intention and consistency go hand in hand. I'll start with intention first because that's the kind of the introduction to the consistency part. You know, before you have consistency in anything you do, you need to have an intention and to have a focused idea of what it is you want. I'll start by, just to make it as simple as possible, talk about what I did back in Japan over my last few months of teaching. In my last few months of teaching, I knew my contract would be coming to an end. I knew I'd most probably end up either in the UK or Dubai again. Turns out I'm in the UK. In my last few months there, I actually started to make a detailed list of notes, setting my intention for the future, what I want my prime focus in life to be. And I listed many different things in terms of passions to follow, different ways of manifesting material abundance so that I can continue to live a high quality of life while also inspiring others to change their lives or live their lives so they can also live a highly abundant quality of life. So I listed different things that I could do on that front in terms of writing, sharing, spreading a positive message, getting informed, getting educated myself, and also through that inspiring others. And I also listed many different interests and passions that I want to pursue in my life, both as a living and both as supplementary to that. And granted, that list was quite long, and one of my big challenges now that I've set my intentions, is to zero in my focus on a few key things which are the most important so that I can maximize my productivity and live in a more authentic place. That for me is the biggest challenge. Anyone who knows me knows I have many different interests in different fields, which is a blessing and a curse, because you get a taste of many different things that make life so rich, but a curse in that in spreading out your attention every day, you don't become as well honed and well crafted in the in what you're most meant to be doing in this life. You don't have that level of expertise and success that comes with devoting yourself to a craft every single day, like a skateboarder does, or a footballer, or a software engineer, or a writer on political issues. I'm surrounded by all kinds of, I'm very blessed in my life to have many friends who are very talented and educated and intelligent, and are very successful because they've devoted their skills towards the one endeavor that they know is their area. Whereas for me, it's like, I look at it and I think, oh, I have many areas, but really I know deep down that there is like one main thing, which is like the crux of it all. So anyway, that's just to share with you some of my challenges. But yeah, setting an intention is absolutely key. In terms of being vegan this month and going forward, setting an intention can start with very, very simple but basic and important questions like, why am I doing this? What is my intentional outcome in doing this? What will it help me achieve in the long run? Another good question to ask is, how will going vegan help me in other areas of my life? Many people go vegan because it increases their level of compassion and it helps them eat better, but are there other areas in your life that can benefit from you making this switch? So listing these down, meditating on them, taking some quiet time in the morning or at a reasonable time before going to sleep so you're not too tired, to sit down with a notebook, sit in a silent sitting, power down the computer, power down the phone, sit in silence, put just the lamp on, just so you set yourself a nice pace and really think about what it is, what the intention is, and then set that down and meditate on it, not just that time, but every morning if you can, just for a few minutes, just to get it sort of solidified in your heart and your soul. Intention is very, very important. Now the next thing is consistency. Devoting a little bit of time each day towards looking up vegan recipes, spending more time in the supermarket reading labels, doing some preliminary or basic research on the internet, on Twitter, on Facebook, learning about the kind of things you can do to sustain this lifestyle in terms of finding substitutes for things that you enjoyed as a standard eater, whether that's cheese or meat or burgers or pizzas or anything else. Doing that, just devoting a little bit of time, because I think a lot of people fail at being consistent, because you have too many goals, which is something I'm learning to deal with, to kind of zero in my focus, but also because a lot of people fail at being consistent because they take on too much at once in terms of putting a huge burden on themselves, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to spend 2 hours reading recipes, 3 hours shopping, 2 hours reading recipes, 3 hours experimenting or reading or doing research. But I found just taking really small steps, and sometimes ridiculously small steps, like just 5 minutes every day reading a recipe, and 5 minutes picking out, instead of picking out a bar of Cadbury from the supermarket, pick out a date or a nut bar, completely vegan and an easy treat. Just like a small step like that can send shockwaves. It's so simple and minor, or so seemingly minor, but if you build on that every day, the next day you might do 10 minutes of vegan related work, and then next day or next week might be that. And to keep it consistent is absolutely indispensable, and through that you will be just amazed at the results that will come into your life. So that's intention and consistency for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment if you found this interesting. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to hear about it. This has been Wild Rocket with you, with another video in my video series on Veganuary. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a blessed, empowered week ahead. Good night.